Future flavors.
Yo, what's up, Pittsburgh? It's your boy Cold Blooded. You are tuning into another segment of the Future Flavors Show. We are here. It is Steelers Sunday, live at Whammo 107.3, and I got a very special, very illustrious guest in the building. This guy has his own pamphlets, own merch. He brought me a throwback CD from over 12 years ago. This guy is coming with tangible gifts, and I'm very appreciative of this. This is a piece of Pittsburgh history, piece of South Philly history, just historical period.
Of course,
This man has been on the come up for a very long time, but has been doing a lot of things that your favorite rappers wish that they could do, getting songs with A-list people, traveling around the country, doing their own shows, and doing it right, and at the same time setting a great example for the kids. My man got his twin son and daughter with him.
Yes, Liam and Reese.
Yeah.
Hi, guys. Or wave.
Hi.
Yeah, I don't know if it's on or not, but...
Yeah. But, ladies and gentlemen, we got my guy Sean Ski here.
Yep, I go by the name of Sean Ski. It's a pleasure being here, of course.
Mm-hmm.
I have ties that date back to Whammo, like really actually when I got started, way back in 2008 when I won Battle of the Beats for Whammo. So it's been a long time coming.
So where did you get your start at originally?
That was the time I started recording, all through high school and stuff, or even younger than that, junior high and stuff. I'd always write. I was big into writing lyrics and such, but it wasn't until 2008 when I started recording and started taking it more seriously.
Right.
So.
Okay. What was middle school and high school like for you? Were you into sports? Were you just in the books? Were you just writing raps all day, every day?
I was kind of more of a shy, reserved kind of dude. Yeah, for sure. That's why when I first started releasing music in 2008, I think a lot of people I went to school with kind of shocked. I don't know. I was, by the time I got to high school, I was more of a jokester or whatever. But I was still pretty reserved, and junior, senior year, I was barely in high school. So
wow. So what were you like? Were you working a job? Were you just kind of just out in the streets? Or?
Yeah, I mean, I was working a job. First love. Was more important, and I don't know. I just really didn't want to be there. I mean, I did good when I was there. I was in all the college prep classes or whatever. But
yeah, you took AP courses?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I just wasn't. I don't know. I just really wasn't all that comfortable in that environment. I just, my, God bless my mom. She did everything to make sure, that I was there. But I was just, at that time, I was just not interested. But thankfully, I graduated and,
So you came up in Connellsville?
Yeah.
Which is in Fayette County?
Yes.
So
yeah.
For those who don't know, can you explain where that area is and what it's like?
That's about an hour south here of Pittsburgh, and, small town. It's starting to be rejuvenated again by our mayor, Connellsville, Mayor Craig Lincoln. But for a while, it's just, not much going on, not too many businesses, but we've definitely seen an uprise again the past, 5, maybe even 10 years, I'd say. At one point back in the day, long before my time, maybe the 40s and 50s, I don't want to get the time period wrong, but Connellsville actually had the most millionaires per capita in the world.
Really?
I don't know if in the world or United States or.
That's where 84 Lumber guy lives, right?
Yeah, out Uniontown somewhere. So it's down that way. Yeah, the coal and coke industries. You're probably thinking of. I don't know if you'd be thinking of Joe Hardy and
Yeah.
I actually worked for Nemacolin for a little bit.
I think he owns Nemacolin.
Yeah. So I worked for Nemacolin Woodlands for about 2.5 years. So.
Okay. So what's it like? What's the rap scene like down there? Because you're an hour away from the city, and from what I've seen, it's kind of rural. Not officially, but it's real space. It's different. Some people might consider it country. You're not necessarily in the city, but you're not necessarily all the way down in Uniontown or near Morgantown, things like that.
It's definitely more so country for sure. I mean, I think just this past Saturday, the show we did I think Mayor Lincoln said like this is the first time. I mean, people have done things on like I guess like a smaller scale, like maybe in bars here and there.
Mm-hmm.
But like this was the first official, even though it was all genres. Like I had, upwards of 18 hip hop artists. So
Mm-hmm.
he got on stage and said this is like the first hip hop show like in Connellsville. So we don't have a lot of that there. But just the music scene has changed so much. Of course, down to here in Pittsburgh, it's like back in the day when I first got started in 2008, 2009, like we had to come through here. You know what I mean? We had to go to Time Bomb.
Mm-hmm.
And, we had to.
Brick?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Love Brick. He's a legend. Like, love just going and just. It's been a minute, but love just going and just talking music with him like forever. He's so knowledgeable. Shout out to Billy Hoyle too, and Sean down to Refresh. But and just when I first got my start in 2008, I was just like, I was familiar with Wiz, and I was like, I need to record wherever he's recording. So and I found ID Labs in Lawrenceville at the time, and that's when I started recording there, and man, there was just so much magic made there. Like it was just such a small little area. Like you never knew who was gonna walk through, and like everyone had to interact with one another. So
yeah,
it was really cool.
Yeah, I think that's the one thing I do like about it is that the music community is so small and close, and that everyone kind of knows each other. Or at least you cross paths with somebody, and you never know what could become the opportunity.
Of course. Yeah, definitely.
So. Did you were you catching flack down in Connellsville for trying to rap, or were you like the guy that like the city root for you? Like how was the perception of others around you?
I would say people were rooting for me. I never really caught it like a whole lot. You know what I mean? Of course, you'll have a couple people here and there, but for the most part, like I've always received nothing but support. I think probably it helped that like I came right out of the gate as soon as I started. I won Whammo's Battle of Beats. I put out a song with Wiz like within my first couple months of doing music. So it's
this is still 08?
Yeah.
So this is like when Wiz got like the Say Yeah deal.
Absolutely.
And Deal or No Deal was popping and all of that.
Exactly. So I still remember the day we recorded my song with him. It was called It's a Bird Thing. And we were leaving the studio and we had on Whammo. And Make It Hot was being released that day, which was the follow-up single to Say Yeah. So that was when Wiz was still on Warner Brothers.
Wow, so, that's like the beginning.
Yeah, that's a real throwback for you.
That's crazy. Yeah, a lot of people don't know about that. So how did that feel? Like you come out the gate, you're a couple months in, and you're already working with, essentially you're working with record labels.
Yeah.
Like Wiz was an artist on the label. You're working with record labels. You're in the mix. You're in the market now.
Yeah, it felt really good, like just to put myself, right in that mix. Like, I don't know, I guess I always kind of had the confidence, like, not just, because, I'll do a lot of songs with featured artists, but it's not about having a bigger artist on a song because, a lot of times, a lot of artists, you give them the money, like, they'll do the song. So it's like, for me, it's like, I did this song with them and I more than held my own on the song, you know what I mean? Almost like in a competitive fashion. Of course, we're just trying to make the best possible song, but like, but that's was always important to me. But yeah, just right out the gate, like I got to give a big shout out to Wiz. Like he was always, I haven't seen him in forever. We got so many mutual friends, and I just saw Ludi Boy and Motor at the studio last week and played music for them. So it's like,
Ludi got new teeth.
Yeah, definitely. So I just hopefully me and Wiz get to reconnect again. I dipped out of music for like 7 years, so I'm not even sure if he would remember me, but at the time, like, he did so much for me, not just doing that feature, but like anytime I'd see him in the studio, like he did drops for my mixtape, all kinds of cool things. Like he was just a really great dude, humble dude, so I hope I get to link back up with him eventually.
Okay, so is this your first official mixtape that I have in my hand?
Yeah, it is. It's actually the only official project that I've dropped.
Really?
Which is crazy. I had a hiatus from 2010 to 2017, so when I started making music again in 2018, I've just been releasing singles and prepping an album. I'm like one song away from finishing the album, so like my plan is like to really once that's complete, to shop at the labels. You know, I've been lucky to work with, you know, E. Dan of ID Labs is pretty much mixing the majority of my album, and you know, I've got to work with some really talented producers and engineers and collaborations. So I'm excited to you know, get that out and hopefully shop it around and see what happens.
Man, well, I wish you much success on that endeavor. I think it's going to work, because this looks like you came out the gate with it all laid out perfectly. Like, you got the official mix. This is a nice cover.
Thank you.
This is a nice cover. I don't know who took this picture, but shout out to whoever took this picture.
Jordan Beckham. Shout
Jordan
out to
Jordan Beckham?
Yeah,
Oh, man.
We do a lot of work together.
Yeah, shout out to
my
him,
videos.
man. I think we did one. I think I was working. You know T-Bev?
Yeah.
I think we were doing a photo shoot. This is when COVID first started popping. So we were doing a photo shoot because we were gonna do the mask, like the I Am Pittsburgh mask, and put up on a billboard and stuff. So we're at Mount Washington, and he's up there. And I'm like, yo, like, I know you from Instagram. So that's crazy, man. 6 degrees of separation.
Yeah, definitely. He was the guy back in the day, whether, you know, photos, and then he started getting into videos. Like, you know, everyone. He was like another one. Like, he kind of like had to, you didn't have to, but like, you know, pretty much everyone went to him to work with him. But yeah, I tried right out the gate. My only thing, and of course it's a learning process, is I put so much into that. Like,
LYFE Jennings is on here.
Yeah, LYFE is
D12.
Yeah,
Wiz Khalifa.
Yeah, LYFE is my guy. So I actually, whenever he's out on tour, like he'll bring me out to hang out with him. Like, his backup singer I'm really close with. I actually got his first album tatted.
Wow.
Like, he's one of my favorite artists ever.
You like his new project? He came out with a new project, right? Or single?
Yeah, new single. Yeah, he's constantly, you know, just taking things to another level, like, you know, provoking thoughts. So
your first mixtape has LYFE Jennings, D12, Wiz Khalifa, Kev the Hustler, for those who know who that is, Boaz, OE, Johnny Giuliano. I remember being with some of my friends, and we're younger, right? Like, I'm 24, so this is a couple years ago, so we're probably like 19, 20 at the time. And he's like, oh, something came about, and he's like, oh, Johnny Giuliano? You mean the Johnny Giuliano on the track? And then we're sitting there like, yeah. But Johnny Giuliano, DJ D's, and many more. This is your first mixtape out the gate. Yeah. And when did this come out after you started rapping?
I think it came out in like 2010 by the time I finally released it.
So this is like 1.5 years, 2 years into your career, and you got all of these guys on here.
Yeah. But, like, you know, not to take anything away from it, you know, of course I'm still proud of it, but like the learning process of I put everything into making it, and at the time I didn't understand, like, you know, you could put all the money to have everything, you know, mixed, mastered, recorded properly, but I didn't understand the promotional aspect at the time. So I'm like, I did all that and I dropped it, and like, you know, it was well received, but like, you know, it didn't like blow up like I thought it would, because I didn't understand that side of it yet. Like, like at that time it was like the blog sites were everything. You got to get your music there, and this and there. So, you know, that kind of had me, you know, discouraged at the time, just because I didn't really quite understand that lane now. And, you know, obviously music's shifted now, more online and everything, and I'm really, you know, I'm really trying to be in tune with just learning more different things to do to get myself out there.
What was the reason for your hiatus?
Man,
if you can talk about it.
Yeah, I don't know if you'd say there's any one thing, you know. I mean, just real life hit, you know. I just got, you know, settled down with a girl and got comfortable. The kids came in 2012. Then, you know, 2015 I got extremely sick and almost died. I had something called gadolinium deposition disease, and it's I don't know if you ever had an MRI.
Yes.
So, like, if you get contrast dye, like, I had a really bad reaction and retained all the dye. So I actually had to go to...
from an MRI.
Yeah, so I actually had to go to South Carolina. There was only 2 places in the country at the time doing it, South Carolina and somewhere in California, this specific kind of treatment. And if I wouldn't have found this doctor, like, in a support group, I probably wouldn't be here right now, because it was causing so much heart damage, blood pressure issues, everything.
All from the dye?
Yeah, all from the dye. Yeah.
Wait, is there like iodine in there or something?
It's the metal. Iodine is for the CT scans.
That's for CT.
The MRIs, it's called gadolinium.
Okay.
It's a metal, and you know, back when this first started happening to people, it was killing people with this disease called NSF. It just hardens your organs and your skin, and so they started putting a warning on the labels to say don't give this to people with kidney issues or anything. But then you had all of us people had normal kidney function, just for whatever reason, you know, the dye, we had a bad reaction. So like I actually talked to, I don't know if you're familiar with Chuck Norris.
Yeah.
I talked to his wife.
Wait, like the actual Chuck Norris?
Yeah.
What, bro?
Crazy. Like, so his wife, the same exact thing happened to her, and they spent millions. Like, he took her to China for stem cell treatment, everything. And you know, I'm thankful for them. They like actually got their story out on the news a little bit, so it's starting to, you know, more people are starting to become aware of it.
Well, thank God. Shout out to God. You're still here.
Absolutely.
So earlier, you said, look, you brought this. This is official poster for. This is the first show you threw.
Yeah.
First official show he threw. We got Scott Blazy of the Clarks, Fed the God, you yourself.
Yeah.
Special guest Hemi, Marley, Sam Brooks, The Follow Me, Bon Turner Band, Beers Before Bed. That's a cool name. Brett Lee, B. White, Franchise. Shout out to you. Shout out to Joni Mays, Trap Girl Rare, Folkland Low. Shout out to you, Tommy Cole, Mulu. I'm gonna say Nas because I don't know how to say that.
Yeah.
D Walt, Jigo, Deodore, JT Frick. We got a lot of people, a huge lineup on here, and we got food vendors. You're the toy drive, and the coat drive, VIP picture booths.
Yeah, we try to do a little everything for everybody. We had a really nice turnouts. You know, everyone's like, it was a really positive event, and everyone's like talking about next year already, and like, it was just, you know, my whole plan with that like was, you know, bringing all different genres together, but bring all different types of people together, all different ages and everything. And it was just a beautiful thing to see so many people that may usually not really talk to each other. Just even like backstage, you see the hip hop artists talking to the rock bands, and where more or less they might have like a couple words here and there, but they're really engaging, and I thought that was really cool to see.
That's the part. It's going to segue into my next question. That's the part that I always loved about being in the local industry and just the music industry in general. People mixing and mingling, and then things happening, laughter being shared. You know, like special moments like this. Like, this is a moment. This is a historical moment. Like you said, the mayor was here, right?
Yeah. He actually gave me my introduction before I went on stage, which is awesome.
So the kid who is coming from Connellsville, his first mixtapes, he has all these heavy hitters from the local scene on deck, All Right Promotion, even like Jennings, reality TV star now.
Yeah.
And you fast forward, go through the motions, you know, let's say you man up, take care of your responsibilities, get yourself together, you're coming back now, you do your first show, and now you're essentially the catalyst for hip-hop and music in your own hometown now.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's a lot of other, you know, people from around the area, you know, like Moolah Gang, for example. I don't know if you're familiar with them. Like, you know, they've been doing it a long time too, even way back when I got started, and really held the area down in that regard. They're from Brownsville, PA, which is still Fayette County, and you know, they've been doing it a long time. Of course, my man Marley.
Yep.
You know, Trap Girl. You know, she's originally from Chicago but moved here, but so many, I mean, have, you know, kept things, you know, going and everything, and I'm just really happy to be back on the scene and really, you know, trying to make moves not only for myself but like, you know, for all of us to really get more of a look.
Playing the humble card. I like it. I like it. You got, look, man, you got the pamphlet. You're doing promotion differently now, I can tell. You got the pamphlets. You got all the artists getting their own shine and spotlight, biography. So you're not, I mean, for me personally, stuff like this goes a long way too. Like, I'm in the habit now, if I go do stuff, I'll keep the memorabilia, like a concert ticket, like a lanyard, hospital wristband.
Yeah.
This.
For sure.
Like, I would keep something like this, you know, like as a memento.
Same, for sure.
You know?
Plan on getting like all those framed together. Had like some newspaper articles and stuff on it. So
see, look, you're in the news. You got the mayor coming through. You're doing your thing, Sean. I don't know if you know.
I'm trying, man.
That's not normal.
I'm trying to push. I appreciate it. Like, I mean, I appreciate you like being one of the first people to, you know, you play my music here on Whammo. It's just like, you know, you didn't want anything from it. Like, usually anybody that will do, you know what I mean? I'm so used to anybody like that will do something like that for you. Like, they want something in return, and you were just cool as ever. Like, just sent you my
Yeah,
music
no,
and
like-
gave me that opportunity, so I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. You're one of the artists that like I actually like. Like,
Appreciate that.
to be black and white about it, like, we're in hip hop. Hip hop's
Yeah.
like a predominantly black industry. Not too often do you see white rappers really making a staple. But one thing I noticed, most of the white dudes from like Connellsville or like the outskirts
Mhm.
can really rap. Like, there's a different type of drive and different hunger that I see,
Mhm.
and a different type of delivery that I see within you guys, especially with you. Like the Believer song.
Yeah.
Like, I'm listening to it. Like, my dad liked it.
Oh,
He's like
that's
an
great.
old school hip hop head. You know,
Yeah.
45.
Yeah.
He likes reggae and all the old stuff. And he's like, I actually like that guy. Like, he's actually saying something. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
that means a lot.
it's different. And like, you bring your kids into the mix. So you're like, I knew from the jump you was like a different caliber type of artist.
Appreciate it.
And that's what
Awesome.
made me like gravitate to it more, because you're different, kind of serious, and it's good. It doesn't suck. Some music sucks.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, and at one point I was in a phase where I was putting my opinion before the artist,
Mhm.
which wasn't fair, because the artists run the show and the people run the show. It's not necessarily me. I get to pick,
Yeah.
but you know what I mean. But yeah, I always liked you. You're good at what you do.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, I try to keep my music like, really like autobiographical, I guess. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? Of course, like, with Life Jennings, like,
Yeah.
being one of my favorites, like, that's the type of artist he is. Like,
Mm-hmm.
really makes him, really vulnerable and puts himself out there, like, gets into personal stuff. And that's the kind of artist I want to be for, like, some of my favorites, like, him and Anthony Hamilton, and then
Mhm.
diving, switching genres to, like, 90s rock, like Matchbox 20, Goo Goo Dolls. Like, they all have that common theme of, like, really just getting deeper. And that's the kind of, I'm into everything, but, like, that's the kind of music that, sticks with you, for
Mhm.
sure.
So let's talk Cash App and the remix.
Yeah.
So originally it's you and Hardo, right?
Yeah.
I remember you sent me that song. I was singing it the other day. I'm sitting here, gotta get and go, just walking around. Mom's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Shit, don't worry about it. I'm just singing."
Oh, that's awesome.
So the new one, you got Fed on the remix, right?
Yeah, we kept the, original song, and we just,
Mhm.
added Fed on there. So,
Mhm.
he's really doing his thing right now, and obviously just came through in Connellsville and
Yeah.
had a great set, and he's a great dude, man. I'm really, rooting for him,
Mm-hmm.
and of course, Hardo, like, he just continues to push, and
Yeah. Very
I
consistent.
don't know if I'm mistaken, but I thought he got some kind of deal through Empire or something now, like, I know he was. I don't know the specifics, but I thought I saw him being, like, affiliated with some kind of label now, which is great.
He's with since the '80s.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
like, it's like a
he's been-
management company.
Yeah, I know
But
he's
they're-
been with them for a second.
Yeah, and they're like partnered. I don't want to say partnered, but they're real cool with like Dreamville.
Yeah.
And
I saw that. Like,
they got-
back when they had those sessions a couple years ago.
That was.
Jerm
You
was
watched
there,
those?
Hardo was there, yeah.
They had like all the studios and all the
Yeah.
rooms, and everybody was. That was. I see that. I like stuff like that.
Oh yeah, that was
Like-
really cool to see
like-
how much like Pittsburgh was involved in
Yeah,
that too.
yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, those guys, Hardo and Fed, like, just great artists, both doing their thing, and like, man, I just kind of want, they're, to me, they're like at the forefront now, like putting on for
Mhm.
this scene, and I want to get myself right in that same position in
Mhm.
time, just continue to work and get my music out there in the right outlets and everything. I'm confident in the music itself. It's just, I just got to keep pushing with all the other
Yeah.
avenues. So
Hey man, I think you got it. I think you got it in the bag.
thanks.
You got a song with the game, right?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, let's talk about that. How did that happen?
So back in the day, if you see on that mixtape, it was hosted by New Jersey Devil,
Yeah.
who was that's like the game's right hand man,
Right.
or was at the time anyway, and his DJ. So like, I linked up with him, and he hosted that for me. I was actually trying to coordinate a show with them that I was going to be a part of at Station Square at the time, but the kind of fell through with the promoter. But that gave me the initial in, and then last summer we went out to a 3-week trip out on the West Coast. Me and the kids. I drove out, and we went
drove?
Yeah, I drove. It was crazy.
Whoa.
It was crazy. Like,
From
only
Pittsburgh?
me. Yeah, it was only me too, and we went to Arizona, but then we went out to LA, and I met up with, I don't know if you know Garrett Hunter, who he was an engineer at ID Labs, and He played guitar with me for a while, and you know Ricky P's studio out there, the Kush Factory studio. So I was I figured while we were out there, I might as well record. So like I rapped over this old Game song from the second album called "Why You Hate the Game" featuring Nas. I always love that instrumental. It's like a Just Blaze beat, and I rapped over it and put it out, tagged the Game, and he commented on it and like you know complimented and everything. So from there, like you know, I used it as an opportunity to reach out about working together. So you know, we made it happen. So I'm hoping you know that song has a lot more life to go. You know.
Man, Sean, you're like a magnet. Like this is the Game. Like G Unit, the Game.
Yeah, he's definitely.
Like,
I mean, not too many. I mean, I know he's always involved in some controversy, but like just straight. If we're just talking like skills, MC, like he's in my top 5. Like he's incredible.
Yeah, he got bars. Yeah,
definitely.
So. How's fatherhood treating you?
Good, man. Good. I mean, you know, that's most important to me. Like a lot of times, people ask me, well, you know, how come you didn't move away from music? Like, you know, back when I first started, it's like New York was the spot, and now the last how many years, it's like Atlanta. But it's just like, you know, I wouldn't leave my kids for anything. Like they're most important. So like, you know, this if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen like out of here, and I'll find a way to, you know, make it work, but still. Them being my number 1 priority always. So.
Yeah, that's why I don't tour. I don't want to. I don't want to be away from my child.
Yeah, you don't want to miss that
for
like,
that long. Like,
you can't get that back.
Yeah, so I definitely relate to that. That's what's up. That's what's up, man. Before we get up out of here, man, just want to say appreciate you coming through, taking the time out your day to come up. I know the drive. I take that drive a lot.
Yeah,
the drive, and. Yeah, man, I just wish the best for you. Hope that you keep doing good. You're definitely doing it right. The only person who I've ever seen do mixtapes, high caliber tapes, their own promotion, and shows like this is Fed. And incorporate local people is Fed. And
great company to be in that.
Yeah, and I'll say that's a rarity. I really said something about like your character and your attributes and what you're really trying to do. So. I would say keep doing what you're doing, man. Don't be a facsimile of everybody. You know, you were doing it right. You learned from your mistakes, doing it right with the promotion, got posters, pamphlets, and all of that. Like you're definitely doing it the right way, man. So I definitely got to salute that. And you got your kids involved.
Yeah, definitely.
Which is amazing.
Always be involved. But yeah, thank you. I just really appreciate the opportunity. I'm always down to come through anytime you'll have me.
Yeah, for sure.
It's inspirational just to be here.
Yeah. How does that feel? How's that feel? Have you ever been at Whammo before?
No, I haven't. Like I said, back in the day, like actually on this mixtape, my song "Hold Up," which won Whammo's Battle of Beats, Jay Cruz, who was like the main guy at the time, he's on there and he gives a drop like introducing that song. So I never got to come through.
You've been doing it right for a long time. Then.
Yeah, I wish I wouldn't have had that long hiatus, but I feel like, you know, that's just life, you know what I mean? Like, the biggest thing is I didn't allow it to deter me, and I didn't let it be a reason I stopped, you know, completely. Like, I'm just back pushing like I never left, so.
Yeah, that's what's up. The kids want to say anything?
You say hello?
Hello.
Yeah, they're quiet. I'm sure they'll talk the whole way home about it though. So
hey, it's all good, man. You could say, you could say you've been here.
Yeah.
You know, this is the real deal, y'all. This is the real radio station. That's the real newsroom.
Crazy.
You know.
Which news is?
That's KDKA.
Oh, KDKA. Wow. Wow. Man. Oh, crazy. Yeah, it's an honor to be here. Thank you again.
Hey, no problem, man. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my guy, Sean Ski.
Yeah, check me out. Follow me on IG, Sean Ski Music. You know, don't be alarmed. I don't have a crazy amount of followers because I don't buy the fake followers and all that stuff like a lot of people do. Like I'm trying to keep it all the way authentic and just keep growing. So, but it's been an honor to be here. Thank you.
Another segment of Future Flavor Show. We out.